Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Who would have ever expected for me to show back up? So here we are. Yeah, it's been over a year since my last video. Where in the heck have I been? I've been in hibernation. Life has changed quite a bit. Life wasn't the most kind to me in the last 3 years, but we grow from it. There is no growth without pain and suffering. I call it the gift of suffering. So here we are on the Tunes Reviews channel, and we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to ruffle some feathers, I'm sure, but why not? Why not speak your truth? Why be afraid of articulating what it is that you feel could be problematic, and or the shift and or transition into what the whole fragrance community has turned into. So here we go. First of all, let's talk about what my scent of the day is. I am predictable. I love this stuff. A lot of my lists haven't changed too much. By the way, we got the daddy shorts on today. We just got done at the gym, so booty, hoochie daddy shorts are what we're wearing. So yeah, I am wearing clothes, but it doesn't look like it. We're wearing Musk Ravager by Fragcomm. This is in my top 10 favorites of all time. I wear this quite a bit. I use it year round, actually. I think it actually smells incredible in the summer heat. So actually really the only season I don't wear too much in, funny enough, is spring, which is still teetering between the cold and the hot. I think that this is perfect in the fall, perfect in the winter, and perfect in the summer. So I use this bad boy quite often. If you haven't smelled it, which I'm sure that most of you out there that are watching me right now as we speak have, but if you have not, check it out. Fragcomm is a great niche house. Musk Ravager is basically an animalic cinnamon bun. So do yourself a favor. Try it. So now that we've discussed Mr. Maurice Roussel's masterpiece and gotten that out of the way, I would like to discuss with you some basic fragrances that I've really enjoyed over the course of the last couple years, and why I think that it's shifted into this realm of freshies have taken over, and or ultra sweet fragrances have kind of become the spotlight. What was the downfall of the fragrance community? I haven't stayed too engaged with Fragcomm, and I haven't stayed too engaged with releases, to be honest with you, because a lot of the releases nowadays are fairly simplistic in a unprovoking way. They're not thought-provoking. They're not something that's like a new genre. You get a lot of the same stuff. It's just run-of-the-mill and carbon copies of one another. We have all these freaking copy and paste fragrances in the designer realm, and also in the realm of dupes. And I am a huge advocate for creativity. So dupes are simply not it for me. I will tell you that there are a few dupes that I've tried that are decent. But for the most part, I really do believe in artistry. I'm an artist myself. I am a writer and a filmmaker, painter, illustrator. I wouldn't really appreciate it too much if people were trying to copy my work and then, not give it credit or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, it's not too becoming. So I really do like the whole concept of creating a new DNA, creating something that blooms and provokes your senses. So that being said, why have fragrances shifted so much? Well, I'm going to go ahead and take one of the darlings of the Fragcomm and say that this is what really started that whole process. Yes, Creed Aventus. Creed Aventus kickstarted a lot of clones, dupes, whatever you want to call them, and then that's really when those fragrances went off to the stratosphere. Okay, nobody wanted to pay the money for a bottle of Aventus. Do I like Aventus? Yeah, I absolutely do. I think it's a pretty good scent. Okay. Do I think it's the best Creed? No. Do I think it's the best niche fragrance? No. I think Creed's prices in general have become such a point of contention and they've really bastardized a lot of their formulas too, which is really too bad, because Creed, I would consider probably one of the best houses there are. You know, Spice and Wood, Royal Oud, Millesime Imperial, the old version. The reformulated stuff is absolute watered down shit. Arolfa, Green Irish Tweed, original classic. The list goes on. It is a great brand. It is a great house. Okay, back in the day, you could get a 4-ounce flask of any Creed for about $175 to $220 off of FragranceNet. Now, just this bad boy retail is like $350 for a 1.7 ounce. And you'd be hard pressed to find a 1.7 ounce of Aventus, which is also now watered down. The original versions that came out, like SO1, XO1, were beastly in comparison to this. Still not bad, but there are truths behind the whole reformulation or different formulation batches, whatever, that are discussed with Creed. And this is no exception. So Aventus is one of those fragrances that has really, I think, got the blame behind why we've landed where we are when it comes to creativity in the fragrance realm. So all that out of the way, I don't want to come across as being one of those dinosaurs of Fragcomm that wants to sit here and be a curmudgeon about how the times have changed and everything is so unfair. I don't really particularly care. I think that it's one of those things where the fragrance community was behind when it came to capitalizing on a genre or a particular category on YouTube where people could make income. People certainly have come along that don't care about the art behind it, don't care about, you know, familial sort of relationships and or camaraderie or friendships or whatever. And that's their prerogative. That's fine. I think that if they're transparent, that they're being a salesperson, saleswoman, salesman, whatever, then more power to you. But don't come on the screen pretending that you give a shit. That's really where there's this false sense of, you know, togetherness. And I think that that's where people kind of, it strikes a chord a little bit, because when things did originate, those things were authentic. So now we're presenting ourselves as having that sense of togetherness, and you do care about how someone feels about a fragrance making them feel uplifted or being a part of their wardrobe off of your recommendation, when really, in actuality, it's just about you cashing in on them. They're just a number. They're a consumer. So I think that's where people kind of get a little bit of that vibe of, you know, you're not actually looking out for me, you're looking out for yourself. And that is valid. On the flip side, it's valid to want to make income off of YouTube. There's just certain ways that you can do it. I'm going to give you a perfect example of someone that has done it right and capitalized off of YouTube. Ashton from Gen Sense, okay? He's an awesome person. Him and his wife, Chelsea, are as authentic as it gets. What you see on screen is what you get in person. I've hung out with him personally. Awesome, awesome guy. Great sense of humor. Really does care. He lives, breathes fragrances, okay? He is someone that would be friends with someone who is just starting out and needs to learn the ropes and actually, you know, wants to invest in creating a ability to capitalize off of their channel. He'll tell you how to do it. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't have some secret formula. You know, I've had conversations with him on how to make money, revenue off of YouTube. And he's never held anything back. I just haven't implemented it, right? Because it takes a lot of effort. It's a lot more difficult than you'd like to think. Pushing out those videos, new content, buying new bottles. You don't even have to buy bottles, though. He's actually said that. You could just use still photos, whatever. You don't realize how much effort that is. That's a lot of time to edit your own videos, to shoot videos, to upload every single day. You know, people get burned out. So if you're making it into a business, it's going to be a lot of effort. He does it the right way, okay? He's turned down brands that have want to send him things. He's turned down working in collaborations with people because he doesn't like who they are as people, okay? He is genuine, and I mean that. I know that for a fact. I've seen conversations. I've seen, you know, him actually articulate that he is not going to be bought by any brand, any person, nothing. He invests his own money into every bottle he has. Okay? That's someone who has made it, and good for him, because he puts in the work. He puts in the effort, and he's a good man. He has not sold his soul. He doesn't lie to get ahead. Like, that is as genuine as it gets as far as commercial. I think that technically speaking, if you want to talk about commercialism on YouTube with fragrance reviewers, he should be the face, not Jeremy. Okay? Like, that's my personal opinion, because he's not going to be bought by anyone. He is just going to tell you, plain and simple, what smells good and what doesn't. And he loves it. He has a collection that is tremendously huge. Anything from discontinued things to modern things that just came out this second. And it's all money that he spent himself, that he's earned. Now, I think we can all sit here and come up with quite a few names of people that have done it the wrong way. They prey on lonely men. They prey on young men that think that a fragrance is going to get you a girlfriend, is going to get you noticed. They prey on this idea of an image that you're suddenly going to shift your entire, your whole being is just going to be shifted based off of some smelly water. And to be frank, I think that is very shallow. It's really low. There are men out there, and women alike, that have self-esteem issues and need to find their identity and need to find who they are. Yes, consumers can make up their own mind and formulate their own opinion. But when you have someone who's tremendously successful, whose life you'd like to have, when you have someone who's very attractive that's telling you what you should or should not do in order to get ahead, younger people are going to listen. And they're being kind of sold a false hope in a way. And that shit's just like, it puts a bad taste in your mouth, especially being someone who is part of the original, call it like 20 to 30 reviewers. I've been around a long, long time, on and off. I started when I was 18 years old. I'm now about to be 34, coming up in February. So it's a pretty long time. I've been around far longer than anyone who's popular, I'll tell you that. Other than some of these guys that still continue to review, like Mark Robes08, he got me the passion for what I do. He's literally the reason behind it. You can say whatever you want about Mark. You can have whatever opinion you want about Mark. Fact of the matter is, the guy loves fragrances. He is not someone who's going to sell you some bullshit. He keeps it about as real as it gets as far as, what a collection really means. What artistry really means. Him, T. Sweatkoff, it's Tim. Those are primarily the two that I watched a ton when I was getting into fragrances myself. And that's not to say that I didn't have a collection before that, because I did for years. I mean, I was literally in fourth grade when I started my fragrance collection. But when I was starting to really kind of build a collection that was more mature, your Gucci's, your Tom Fords, your Creeds, Bond Number 9. Literally, Mark recommended Bond Number 9 and Creed when I asked him, where do I start with niche? Then I went on to Serge Lutens. We can go back. We can talk about this. If we all started some kind of chat, there'd be a lot of memories there. There'd be a lot of camaraderie, something that's really lacking now. Because now it's all about, how do I get ahead? How can I use this person to show that I'm successful too? How do I get in with the crowd? Okay? And that's really, really unfortunate, because there are so many friendships that could really be formulated. Again, I've created a really good friendship with Manny, Cascade Scents. Wonderful man. Hung out with him quite a few times. Victor Wong from Zoologist, hung out with him a few times. He's awesome. Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, absolutely wonderful man. Rush Durr, who runs some Facebook groups. Love Rush. These are Ashton again. Hung out with Ashton. He's an awesome, awesome man. These are people that I've talked to frequently throughout the years. These are people that mean what they say. They're people that are genuine. There are other people that I'd like to build relationships with. There are people that I'd love to be able to, connect with, that I've admired for years or wanted to get together with for years or whatever. But the point is that a lot of these other people have made it so it's just, you have to have a wall up. You have to realize, like, am I getting in with the wrong crowd? Am I just going to be used for some kind of clout? Am I going to actually enjoy this person's company? Do they actually care about the same things that I want to care about? At the end of the day, fragrance is just fragrance. That's the opening line, or the segue into creating the friendship with somebody. But then, do your morals and values and interests align with theirs? I'll tell you right now, I've loved every second of hanging out with Manny from Cascade Scents. I've loved every second of spending weekends with Rush. I've loved meeting up with Chad for lunch. These are good people. They're wonderful people. I loved meeting up with Ashton and his wife. Fucking awesome, fun, fabulous time. There are people that are not authentic and will not show you who they really are. There are people that will have a mask on the entirety of your time that you spend with them. And that's just human nature sometimes, especially when you're talking about people that are approaching it from a business aspect. All that to say, I think that there's been a tremendous shift, and I am totally for having bells and whistles in a review. I'm totally for great editing. I'm totally for taking us on a journey. The Fragrance Apprentice, he basically makes like little miniature films that are reviews. That's fucking awesome. Whether you like him or don't like him, whether you agree with his opinion or don't agree with his opinion, there's effort there. There's real effort there. People who put in an effort one way or the other, whether if it's informative effort, passion, creativity, those are your people you want to watch. Those are the people you want to pay attention to. People that just jump on, have no kind of opinion other than one that's purchased, have nothing to say but this is sexy and going to get you laid. I mean, at that point, you're just kind of following a false narrative. It's fluff. It's nonsense. It's fictitious. You might as well just be watching or reading some kind of smut or, some kind of soap opera. That's what that is that they're selling to you. It's nonsense. It's farcical. That being said, there is such creativity that people are missing out on. I love that new kids are coming in here, or younger men or younger women are coming in here because of the popularity of some of these people, and they can find the love for fragrance. That is the one good thing I will say about some of the more popular people. They've created a lot more of the ability to find the passion, because it was such a small niche community before, and people may have not taken it so seriously before. People may not have really even taken an interest, like, oh, cologne's something I get from, my mom or grandma for Christmas every year or whatever, and it's not even something I really enjoy all that much. Finding out how to, cultivate a wardrobe of fragrances, your fall, your winter, your spring, your summer. Oh, maybe I really love this. Maybe I actually want to have a bigger collection, 15, 20, 30. Oh, well, maybe I don't want just to have some Paco Rabannes and some Abercrombie & Fitch. Maybe I want to try going over to Lucky Scent and finding out what a Creed is, finding out what an Amouage is, finding out what a Killian is, Serge Lutens. The list goes on. Then you find yourself going to the rabbit hole, and now all of a sudden you know what Slumber House is, okay? So that is what life is about. It's about connection. It's about, the mysteries and finding a new passion. That is what it's about. It can also simultaneously be about wanting to smell good and attract a partner. It can also be about wanting to, just enjoy a fragrance for what it is. So we're going to talk about that for a second now, okay? Creed Aventus kickstarted these kinds of fragrances right here, okay? This is Christian Dior's Homme 2020. And while I actually really, really do enjoy this, it's my second bottle, okay? It's cedar, citrus, Isoe Super. It's basically what it is. This is going to get you compliments. It's fresh, it's clean, it's great for office wear, whatever, right? It's a dumb grab for me, especially working in healthcare. This is a dumb grab. It smells good. It doesn't mean that it's bad, but I will tell you the original formulation of Dior Homme, the iris, the buttery iris, the cacao, that's a much better fragrance, objectively, not even subjectively, okay? Objectively, that's a much better fragrance. The limits in the envelope it was pushing, going from a fragrance that is basically marketed for men that leans very feminine, so it's pushing the envelope. This is a very cut and dry, clean citrus, woody citrus. This smells like a lot of other things, just with a better composition, maybe better materials that have been used because it's Christian Dior, so it's a higher end fragrance house. But it doesn't mean it's unique. It's not. I could live without this. Like, don't care, right? Then you have fragrances like this. This is YSL Myself. This is the Eau de Parfum or Le Parfum version. This is more unique than Dior Homme 2020. If you're familiar at all, for any of you niche heads out there, with Francis Kurkdjian, and you ever had the privilege of trying a piece of Me Pour Homme, and you really enjoyed it, but now it's discontinued, check this out. It is basically orange blossom, and it's got that sort of laundry, orange blossomy concoction with some spice and some isoe super, some vanilla. It's really nice. It has a very similar DNA to that, missing the honey. But this is a good, unique scent. This is, again, not your run-of-the-mill. It is made to be pleasant, and I really did kind of poo-poo this off for a long time. And I tried it, and I was like, no, it's actually pretty unique considering what we've got that's pushed out to us currently. So we do have good examples of designer fragrances that once in a while will pop up that are a little bit different. Now, this is still created to be a compliment fragrance, a complimented, mass-appealing, marketed for the masses, marketed to sell, especially with Austin Butler as the face, and it's going to. But you're going to smell somewhat unique. There's a white floral note in this that is kind of taking me back to some Kenzo fragrances, or maybe like, I don't know, like a Guerlain Angelique Noir, although it doesn't smell like Angelique Noir, but we're verging into territory of things that are uncommon, that are not worn by men. So check that out, right? So we have two prime examples of mass appealing fragrances that are bestsellers. Then we'll go to something like this. This is YSL Y, and God love me, I don't know which version this is because there's freaking 4, 5, 6 of them now. This is either the Le Parfum Intense or whatever the hell it is. It's not the EDP, it's not the EDT, it's not the... No, I think it's the Parfum version, maybe. Yeah. Okay, well, this is Apple. Okay, I think some sage. It's basically got a body wash vibe to it, but a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more of a fall vibe to it. It's actually one of the fresh scents that I really enjoy. And it is another one that does garner some compliments and other people are really going to like. So you can't go wrong with fragrances like this when it comes to if you're in a work setting. If you're going out with your buddies, you want to smell good, okay? You want a compliment from another woman or another man or another partner, okay? You're not going to go wrong with something like this. The DNA sells. The DNA sells. I have no problem with that. There's no problem with fragrances that are doing their job. They smell good, okay? They're meant to be worn to attract other people. You're meant to want to get out of your shell a little bit. It's part of your wardrobe. Generally speaking, most people only have maybe 1 or 2 fragrances that they wear. So you're finding a signature scent for most people. They want to just be simple and appealing. These fragrances do that, okay? They make it easy. There's nothing that says that a fragrance can't do that. The frustration for people that really love the art of fragrances, you can only find that kind of scent so far and few between when it comes to the designer houses anymore. You know, Dior used to be that. They certainly aren't now. Sauvage basically was when that all went down the tubes. Do I like Sauvage? Sure. It's a pleasant scent. It does its job. It's gotten me compliments. I've gone through a couple bottles. EDT, EDP. Now we have the Elixir. I love the Elixir. Actually is unique. That's a really great fragrance. Tom Ford still pushes the envelope a little bit, not nearly as much as they used to, but you know, your ombre leather, your Noir Intense, those are wonderful fragrances. Noir Intense is a fucking sexy beast. Ombre leather is great. I actually even know a woman that wears ombre leather. Smells great on her. Paco Rabanne. Okay, let's talk about Paco Rabanne for a second. That's a brand that even with my nose, where people might think that I'm a bit of a snob with, my indie fragrances and all that kind of stuff, it's a fragrance house that I actually really like. I think that I think that the 1 million Royale, the 1 million Elixir, obviously 1 million Intense, which is discontinued, Lucky even, they're all really nice. And I have a sweet tooth. I'm a gourmand lover. So those fragrances still do it for me. They're not so synthetic that I get a headache. They do what they're supposed to do. They do what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to put on that fragrance knowing that you're just wanting to smell nice. You want to go enter a room and you want to smell nice. This is not something we all have to take so seriously. Like, oh God, if he's not wearing a fucking, civet leaning fragrance or an oud leaning fragrance that smells like a urinal cake, then he's not in it for the art. No. Like, if you love fragrance, then you can love all fragrance. I can wear anything from CK1 Shock, which smells fucking amazing, by the way. It's like $25. You can get a 6.7 ounce bottle of that. I can wear that and enjoy it. I can wear Musc Ravageur and enjoy it. I can wear an Amouage Interlude Man, which is one of my favorites of all time, and enjoy it. Whether people look at me while I'm in a classroom and want me to die because of it or not. Shit. I'll even pull out one of these. Guess what? Club de Nuit Milestone. Can I wear this and enjoy it? You betcha. You know why? Because this is a dupe done right. And nobody's paying me to say that, okay? I am about as real as it gets when it comes to fragrance reviewing. Nobody's ever paid me shit. I've always been on here as a blunt asshole. Don't care. And I review what I like. It's always been that way, okay? Milestone is a great fragrance. Because Creed has gone down the tube so much with their DNA, their reformulations, their whatever you want to call it, their batches, Millesime Imperial is about as watered down as it gets, and that is really such a shame because the original Millesime Imperial, I would consider in my top 10 favorites of all time. Okay, I went through probably 3 or 4 bottles of that back in the day. This smells more authentic than the formulation that it is now to what the formulation used to be. That's how ridiculous it's gotten. This is one of the prime examples of a dupe that actually works. Most of them don't. Because, speaking on dupes, here's this piece of shit that everyone loves so much. Lattafa Camera, yeah, okay. I had to go ahead and buy this off of TikTok Shop. I'm a TikToker now, by the way. Sit there and talk about life experiences and motivation and all that kind of thing. This stuff, head-to-head with Angel Share, fucking loses 10 times out of 10. I don't care what anybody says. If you think that this is better, then you're just lying to yourself. I don't know. Maybe a general audience would like it. First of all, this lasts for shit. I'm getting like 4 hours out of this thing. Becomes a skin scent within 2. And I've got no axe to grind here, okay? I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to, make friends as far as like working with companies, whatever. I wanted to love this. I spent like $25 on this, I think it was. It smells pleasant. It smells kind of like, if you stuck Angel Share and a Glad apple cinnamon spray together, mixed them together. It's kind of how it smells. So it's not bad. Generally speaking, though, I'm probably going to give this away to someone. It's not something I need to really bother with. That's not because it's cheap or anything. It's just because it kind of bugs my nose a little bit, and it smells, of much poorer quality than Angel Share, or PDM Wajan, or Killian Apple Brandy, or a Hermes Ombre Narguilé, which is the best of all of them. I don't know. But then we got these fragrances here, right? These mass appealing fragrances. I've been wearing a lot of these in the last year and a half. Okay, this is the Le Beau Parfum from Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Beau, Le Parfum. This is a coconutty, iris, vanilla. It smells really nice. It's got that iris in there, so it's got a silky, buttery quality to it. And it's pleasant. And it's a compliment magnet, and it lasts forever. And it's pretty unique. It's probably actually one of the more complimented ones that I've worn in the last year. So if that's something you care about, check it out. It does what it's supposed to do. And has a slight tinge of uniqueness to it. Do I think that it's ultra unique? No. There's been way more unique fragrances, especially even in the designer realm. You know, we're not even going to talk about niche, okay? But in the designer realm, God, Yves Saint Laurent M7, Tom Ford, any of his original, fragrances that came out, Black Orchid, Gucci Pour Homme 1 and 2. I mean, they're just light years away from what that is. But you got to keep up with the times, right? This is where we're at in society. People want sweet, fresh, loud combinations. That's what sells. Then we go to a fragrance like this. This is Valentino, Born in Roma, Intense. This also is a compliment bomb. I've had this for a year. I'm almost out of it. I know you can't really tell with this bottle because of the way the shading is, but there's like a little corner here left. It's, I mean, it's kind of like an appley, spicy, fresh fragrance. That's what it is. It's very reminiscent of this, in my opinion. Yeah, they're different. This is a little bit sweeter. It's more loud. Frankly, it probably generates more compliments. It'd be something that would be like worn at the club. Whereas this is, maybe in a suit and tie or at the office, this is the club. That's the difference. But they're all cut from the same cloth, okay? These kinds of fragrances right here. All that to say this. We have fragrances that feel like they're on an assembly line that are pushed out. And they're not really all too unique, but they serve their purpose. And it's okay to enjoy that. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. It's okay to enjoy aquatics. It's okay to enjoy freshies. It's okay to enjoy gourmands. It's okay to enjoy incense. It's okay to enjoy 80s powerhouses. Fucking enjoy whatever it is that you like. What's not okay is some of the false advertising we see. What's not okay is the lies, the manipulation, the utilization of a platform and popularity to get people to buy shit that they don't even believe in. That's just nonsense. It's utter nonsense. There are plenty of people that do it. There's also plenty of popular people that do not do it. Again, case in point, Ashton, Jensen's. As authentic as it gets, I promise. Speaking of which, here's a plug. I did buy this with my own money too. This is Michael Malot and Jensen's collaboration, West Loop. West Loop, when he and I met up in New York City last September, he had the original formulation, the tester of this before it was released. And dude, I sprayed that on, and I'm pretty sure when I went to his hotel, we went to a festival together, a music festival. It was a 3-day event. Every day I met up with him, I asked if I could put this on. And then when it came out in November, I believe it was end of October, beginning of November, something like that, I bought a bottle of this, and look how much I've used, okay? And I have quite a few bottles still. I have probably like 50 anyways. I did get rid of quite a bit, or like I didn't replenish things after I ran out of them or whatever. But this is one that I really, really like, and it's done well. And it's one of those fragrances that is mass appealing, but you can tell that there's care in it. He took the time with this. He was the creative director behind this. Nothing went ahead, full steam ahead, without his say-so. And it smells phenomenal. It is something that filled up the elevator when I was at my hotel, and 2 women, when I was on the elevator while we were going back to my hotel with my buddy, complimented on it. And it smells phenomenal. Is it something that's super challenging? No. but it's a really, really wonderful fragrance. It's a spicy, sweet, almost kind of tobacco-y type of scent, and it's just sexy. You know, it's like almost a modern day La Nuit de l'Homme kind of thing. It smells phenomenal. So that's also a point I want to make. Not every person that is a YouTuber that has done fragrances is just doing it for the sake of wanting to make money. Ashton, every one of his fragrances, Blue Ridge, West Loop, you know, they're all done really well. You know, you can tell that there's heart in it, there's care, there's attention. Then you have other fragrances that people have pumped out, okay? I'm not going to name names because that's not the point of the video yet. We'll see. We'll see where we go in the future. But there are other fragrances with maybe smaller brands or whatever that have been collaborative, that have been absolute trash. And it's just very clearly some kind of marketing ploy. And it's just very clearly pumped out for being purchased because it's got their name on it, because they said that it was good. And it's just not. This is not coming from a place of bitterness. This is coming from a place of, you have people that are, again, here to just sell you a product that don't believe in it versus people that actually do care. It's really just that simple. And it's up to us to sift through which is which, obviously. You know, people aren't stupid. But again, we have vulnerable people that want to believe that these people are actually a part of their lives. That's where we've gotten in life, right? Social media has been such a prominent part of younger people's lives. You know, the generations below me grew up with YouTube being celebrities. You know, with me, it was movies. YouTube, they're celebrities to a lot of younger people. And there's a responsibility that comes with that. There's a sense of camaraderie that people want to have. To them, because you can interact, you're their friend. You're their family. So if you're steering them wrong, then what a deceptive thing to do. What a deceitful, shitty thing to do. Especially, again, when you're talking about a crowd of individuals that are easily led, that are maybe trying to find the solution to becoming a little bit more assertive, becoming a little bit more comfortable with who they are, finding their independence, finding their sense of their place in the world, you know. And this is just like one small little piece to the puzzle that goes along with it. Creating a good wardrobe, creating a sense of having any kind of confidence. People want confidence. So if you're selling them fool's gold, snake oil, to me that just is kind of wrong. So fragrances like this, okay, Cobalt, Bad Boy Cobalt. Do I think they smell good? Yeah, they do. Smell nice. I own it. I wear it. Throw this on when I go to work, go to the gym, whatever. But gun to the head, any day of the week, if I had to choose something like that versus a Musk Ravageur, which still is not the most complex, not the most challenging, but it's a piece of me. You know, if I put together a fall list, a top 10 fall list right now, most likely it'd have 90% of the same fragrances that it had on it 5 years ago. So, authenticity. That's what people crave. They want a sense of authenticity, realness, rawness, togetherness. So, let's bring the people what they want. I hope you're all doing so fantastic. I'll talk to you all soon.